Hello there friends, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. And here is Midas from Kiddies Dread once again. Come back with the completion of this game. So this is the final part for this rocket ship game, and the spaceship game here is going to have multiplayer. It's going to be a multiplayer game which you and your friend or you and your siblings could actually play together, and it's going to be a really fun one. So let's get right into it. We are going to be starting with creating the second player. Okay, so you're probably thinking creating the second player is going to be a big deal, but it's not. What we have to start with is, first of all, since we've designed the behavior of this first player, we're just going to duplicate the second player. So just right click on this guy and click duplicate. Yes, it is that easy. We have the second player now. So we're just going to adjust some things quickly for this second player. What is the first thing we're going to adjust? Let's go and change the color so we can tell when it is the second player. Okay, so let's come to costumes here. I'm going to adjust this color for all of them. Okay, so let's do this. So we just we have to select this one. Be careful. Let's select this one. I just change. Now notice that it's selecting everything. The reason why it's selecting everything is because it is grouped. Now before you can start editing it, you have to ungroup it. So now it's ungrouped. Now I can select this one. See? So what I want to change is this color first, because that's the main color. Just change that to maybe something like this. Just a little change to be able to differentiate it from the original one. Okay, maybe I'll just stick with black. That is. Okay, 100, 100, 100, 100, 0. So that works for me. Okay, black is not the best color, but I'll leave it as it is. So I'll do the same thing for this guy here on group. Now I can select this part, and of course 100, 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the third guy. 100, 100, 0. First color, first select it on group. Hundred, 100, and 0. Smooth. And here goes for the last on group. Hundred, 100, 0. 0. Okay. So now it will also be nice to regroup it back. Okay, so let's just do this. Group and select them all. Group. Select them all, group, and select this one to all of them, and group. So having done this, we've returned it back to the original state it was. So now we have all the costumes necessary for this one. Now what are the things we need to change? Remember, if you click on the green flag, they go to the same location, and see, you're saying you can't find it. Well, that's because it's exactly directly behind this one, and then the same controls affects both of them. Okay, although he doesn't have his own bullet yet. So we're going to do this. Now we're going to first of all, we're going to make its own y, its own x. Since this one is minus 139, we're going to make its own x 39. This rocket ship's x was minus 139, right? So we're going to make is 139 instead of minus 139. So if I click on the green flag, see, well, see, they're still being controlled by the same icons, the same button, which we don't want. So since this one is going to be on the right hand side, I'll leave it to have the controls of up arrow, right arrow, left arrow, and down arrow. So I'll click on this rocket ship and change these controls to the conventional game playing controls, which is W for up arrow. So I'll change this to W, letter W. For down arrow is going to be S. For right arrow is going to be letter D. And for left arrow is going to be letter A. So that means, so now they can be controlled irrespectively. Now that's fun, isn't it? Cool. Alright, so we have that. They can be controlled on their own, and they can go pretty much anywhere. Nice. So next thing, if we click on the green flag, we return back to the location. Next thing we want to do is, it doesn't have its own bullet, right? And I think this bullet only answers to this missile, only answers to rocket ship. So let us duplicate this missile to duplicate. Now missile 2, let's edit it in the costumes. Of course, the name, we're going to the color, let's change the color quickly to black. I'll just change this one to 0 black. So now you can tell the right start black 0 0 100. Now I don't know if the difference is obvious yet. Okay, okay, I think that's fine. That's fine. That should do it. So this one, now the next thing is going to work just like this rocket ship. Since it's the same thing, we're just going to change forever here. Go to rocket ship 2, go to rocket ship 2. Okay, and every other thing stays the same. So if we click on the green flag now, look at that. They work the same way. Although this one is not touching. Now notice something. This one is breaking the rocks, but this one is not breaking the rocks yet. Now I wonder why. So let's do something about that quickly. So this one isn't breaking the rocks yet. Now we have to change. We have it here saying change Y if touching rocks or touching hedge. Let it is clone. It should be working though. Oh, let's click on the green flag again and study it. This is it. Oh, it is working. Look at it. It is deleting once it touches the clones, but the rocks are not deleting because we have to go to the rocks for that. So what we're going to do in the rocks is simply see this guy here, right? Everything we have here we're going to duplicate, because we would have just added the OR just like we did for the missile earlier. But if we use OR, we can't tell which person's score is which, right? So we're just going to duplicate this. Now the first one is for the player 1. We duplicate the one that was controlling the score so that we can have another one for the other score. And let's go to variables. Let's create yet another variable. This one is going to be P2 to score. Okay, so this is going to be player 2 score. Okay, I'll just drag player 2 score over to this side. Alright, player 2 score. We're going to change this one here to player 2 score, and this is if touching missile 2. So now let's try that out. Okay. So it's working. Now player 2 score is increasing. But notice something, right? Notice something that their scores are not returning to 0, and something that is not right. That is really not right. So here we're just going to say when the green flag is clicked, we could just go to Rocket Ship and say when green flag is clicked, put it under directly under when a green flag is clicked. Anyone when green flag is clicked, set P2 score to 0, and for Rocket Ship we'll do the same thing for it. I could just put it here too. They work the same way. Set player 1 score to 0. So when the game starts, let me expand this for lovely view. When the game starts, shoot. Okay, I'm the one controlling both, so it's not so fun. Okay, it takes time. Okay, this is not bad. Alright, this is looking fine. So, how can we tell who the winner is? How do we know who the winner is? So, we're going to say first person to get to 15 or maybe 10. First person to get to 10 wins. Or if the rock touches any of them, then the other person wins. So how do we do that? Let's stop it for a second. Now, we're simply going to say if score is equal to 0, broadcast. Now a broadcast message, you can broadcast messages in Scratch. A broadcast message is used to communicate with other sprites or other parts of the or even the backdrop to tell it that something has happened and you want something else to happen because something else took place. Okay, so how do we do that? To do that, we are going to first let's do it on this Rocket Ship. Let's do it on Rocket Ship. We're going to say if score, we could say if score is equal to 15, broadcast player 1 wins. Or if better to do it on the score on the rocks though, since the rocks already have the scores, it's easier that way. Now we already have a lot of blocks here of them, so I'm just increasing this so you guys can have a better view. So now that I have these two here, I can also move them to the right here. All my other blocks are still there hidden. Okay, so we're going to say we can say that if forever when green flag clicked, you just use when green flag clicked for that one too, and then forever if, let's bring out if player 1 score is equal to 15, if player 1 score, so we're going to bring out equals to first from the operators, place it right here, right? So if player 1 score is equal to 15, this is where we get player 1, this block right here from variables, player 1 is equal to 15. Now go to events, look for broadcast message, place it right here, player just P1, okay, just say P1 wins. Okay, duplicate this. This is going to be P2, of course. So replace this with P2. Player 2, new message. P2 wins. Okay, so player 1 wins, player 2 wins. Right? That's fun. Okay, so now who is receiving the broadcast? Well, we want to have a very big entrance for whoever wins the game. So we're going to do that by coming to the backdrop. Let's go and design a backdrop for them, right? Let's go and design a backdrop for whoever wins, so that the game is the spaceship is just going to change whoever wins, the backdrop for whoever wins. Or we could just create a sprite for it too. So just say should we create a sprite or create a backdrop? Let's use a sprite. I'll tell you why. Because we're still going to put a backdrop for this place. We can't leave it as just white, so it can be fun. So we're just going to let's use a sprite. Let's paint a sprite here. And the first sprite is going to be called player 1 wins. So So this costumes for player 1, just put some text here. That's right. Player 1 wins. I'm gonna make this really big. Handwriting or marker. Okay, I think I like marker. Place it right in between there. Okay, this is fine. Player 1 wins. Increase that, please. Too much. Okay, I think it's fine. I'll change the color of the text because I don't want it to be black anymore. Alright, I'll leave it. I could leave it like this. If I have to change it again, if we have to change it again, we could change it. Alright, so this is fine, and I don't want the design to be messed with. I want it to look, the other one, player 2 wins, to look exactly like this. So I'll just call this one, the name of the sprite, player 1 wins. Then I'll right click and duplicate the sprite as well and make this one player 2 wins. So just change the text, write 2, and we're done. Player 2 wins. So good. Now for both of their codes, we're just gonna say when green flag clicked, hide. When green flag clicked, both of them are going to hide. Same thing goes for this. When green flag is clicked, hide, so that anytime the game starts, nobody knows who wins, of course, like this. So until somebody wins, we get to know who wins. Okay, so from the rocks, we're gonna say broadcast player 1 wins. So when you broadcast player 1 wins, this is this player 1 wins prize that's going to receive that. So broadcast player 1 wins. Now let's go over to player 1 wins and say when I receive. Now let's go to events. This is when I receive player 1 wins. Let me increase this. When I receive player 1 wins, what should happen? We're gonna say easily just show and then stop all. That is, the whole game should stop. So it's going to stay right there, and the same thing goes for player 2. Let's go. When I receive player 2 wins. When I receive player 2 wins, and increase that for better view. When I receive player 2 wins, broadcast player 2 or P2 wins. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. First to 15. Let me see that. I just have one person keep winning. Okay, now it seems it feels like the rocks are actually coming down slowly. So I'm going to speed that up because we have more than one shooter. Okay. Destroy. So player 2 is almost at, player 2 is at 11. So I like the idea that you have to shoot some of the rocks more than once before you can be sure that it actually works. Okay, that it's up to 15. Oh, I don't think, have we done it for player 2? Hold on, because it's up to 16 and it hasn't said it, so that means it's not working yet. So why is it not working? If player 2, oh, now use equal to instead of equal to. Let's change it, because when we use equal to, by the time it broadcast, it could have changed already. So instead of using equal to, let's use greater than instead. So we can use greater than 14. That's more like it. This is greater than 14. Same thing for this guy. We don't use equal to, we're just going to use this greater than 14. That is a much more That's a much more appealing one. Okay, greater than 14. So if it's greater than 14, it has to be at least 15. Am I going to wait for this again? Okay, so I'll just let it keep on happening, keep on shooting while we work on what happens if the rock touches them. Okay, so we're also going to do an if touching rock. So we're going to do that on their separate rocket ship. If touching one, we're going to say broadcast player 2 wins again, and then if touching rocket ship 2, broadcast player 2 wins. If touching rocket ship 2, broadcast player 1 wins, and if touching rocket ship 1, broadcast player 2 wins. So that if the rock touches this guy, then this guy wins, and the rock touches this guy, this other guy wins. So both of them are supposed to avoid touching the rocks. So the reason why I'm using this black one is because the black one is one we adjusted last. So if the black one works, then definitely the other one is working. 10, 12, 13, 14. It is still not showing. Why? When I receive player, I said broadcast. It's supposed to be show. When I receive player 2 wins, show. Alright, that's what we're supposed to see. When I receive player 2 wins, show, and then stop all, just like the other one. Alright, just like that. So exactly when I say player 1 wins, player 2 wins, show. So the same thing is supposed to happen. So if I click on the green flag, now that works. So let's make it such that if touching, we're going to bring out should we put it here? Yeah, we can put it. No. Okay, the clones for, we can easily just say, okay, let's bring out a when green flag clicked, since this one has no clone. When green flag is clicked, forever, anytime it touches any of the rocks, if touching the rocks, right? If touching rocks, this is rocket ship 1, so broadcasts player 2 wins, and we already know who receives player 2 wins, so we don't have to go back and say when I receive, because this guy, anytime he receives player 2 wins, once any sprite broadcasts player 2 wins, the game ends, right? So the same thing goes for this guy. When green flag clicked, forever, if touching the rocks, broadcasts events, broadcast player 1 wins. So let's confirm. Okay, broadcast player 1 wins, broadcast player 2 wins. Okay, and let's make this a bit more exciting. Let's make the rocks get created even faster. So I'll just come back here, create clone every 1 second. Every second a new clone is created. So 2 seconds is pretty long. And change Y by 2. Let's leave that one for now. Okay, so okay, there we go. Just testing this out to be sure it's working fine. Okay, this player moves and this player moves. Oops. Alright, this player touched the rocks, this player touched the rock, so player 1 wins. So regardless of the fact that his score was at 9, player 1 won, and that's the idea. So that's really cool. Alright, if you have any questions, of any part is confusing you, please be sure to drop it in the comments below. Now, important thing is, we are done with this game. Let's make sure we save it. So let's just rename our project right here. I'll call it Rocket Ship. 2 players maybe. Let's call it Rocket Ship game. Okay, now click on File, save to your computer. I'm going to save it to my computer. It's nice to have a folder for Scratch. Scratch. So yes, open. I just call it Rocket Ship Game, saved there so I can visit and play my game anytime. So for this project and more projects of its kind on Scratch or other programming, please like and subscribe to our channel, and until more videos coming to you, please stay safe. Bye bye.